morning. My name is Michael Taylor. I'm a managing partner with Valenta, which is a consulting company that works with small, medium businesses in almost every industry, helping them on their journey through digital transformation. So typically we work with companies to help them effectively deploy robotic process automation, intelligent process automation with data extraction and machine learning technologies, as well as conversational AI. And we are able to frequently partner with some fantastic technology providers that also work in the digital transformation space on behalf of our clients. And today I'm delighted to host and introduce one of those fantastic partners, Ganesh with Conversite is here with us today, and he's going to present to us Conversite's fantastic platform known as Athena. It is a conversational AI solution, but much more robust than I think probably most people think about when they think about conversational AI. So I'd like to turn it over to Ganesh here and start off, if you could, Ganesh, with an introduction of yourself, including your professional journey, help our viewers understand kind of how you got to the point where you are today with Conversite.
Sure. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me in this show. I'm looking forward to share about what we are seeing in this AI space, and primarily in conversational AI and data analytics space. Again, my name is Ganesh. I'm one of the co-founder and the CEO of ConverSight.ai. We are headquartered here in Indianapolis in US and serving hundreds of customers globally. And in the next few minutes, I will share what is Conversite and how we are helping number of customers to gain insights more naturally. Just to give you a background, why you need this technology and how we even thought about this, right? So before starting this, we used to help a lot of customers to, create reports, dashboards, hundreds of them, right? I'm sure, all our audience will realize that the number of reports, number of systems we have deployed nowadays, and increasingly the cloud-based SaaS solutions. I have one system for HR, one for CRM, others for supply chain and expense reporting, production, logistics, a lot of systems, a lot of data. And each of these applications, software systems are storing data in a format. Some are databases, some are files, some are easily accessible through an API, but just data, right? Exploding amount of data. But why are we capturing all the data? Obviously want to make sure that we have an auditable trial of what we are all doing. The second is really to learn from that historical data and figure out some insights so that we can perform much better, whether it be it in pricing, be it focusing on the segment of our customers, be it advertising on which market I need to do, and really look at it end to end, right? A lot of business leaders are, struggling to get that integrated insights, right? Anytime if you ask any business leader, okay, if I am, a VP of a supply chain in a company, if I want to know this morning, oh, is everything going okay, or how many of our customers are waiting with a delayed shipment, I can just go check my email. I wish somebody already sent me an email this morning, or I'll just, give a call to, one of my, data person. Let's say Jordan. Hey, Jordan, are there any overdue orders, right? So most of the companies, the business leaders are dependent on few individuals who are providing the data. So this was an instance couple of years back when I was working with a large company, and a manufacturing company, a $20 billion company. I was talking to the president of the company. It was Friday at 4:00, and he was a little bit, he was not really focusing on the meeting. I was asking, what happened? What's happening? It was quarter end, and there was like close to a $500,000 gap than what the team told about the revenue and what he's seeing now. And he wants to know what that $500,000. Where did we lose that? It was there. And he wanted to ask somebody, that analyst left. And he has a meeting, obviously, Monday they are going to go for the quarterly results. He needs to figure out. He was so anxious, like, oh, and remember, this is a $20 billion company, not very small. They have all kind of ERP systems, all kind of reporting systems, but still the leader couldn't figure out which dashboard to go, which report to go. They just need somebody to ask a question. This is the problem on hand. On the other side, we are all hearing about great AI solutions. You have Alexa, Siri's. By the way, what are we using Alexas and Siri's for? Alexa's, switch on the light, switch off the light. Is that why those great technologies out there, like just automate the very basic activities? No. These AIs should really do something more better, miracle than what as a human we can do, and can process millions of amount of data and figure out that hidden insights and tell me as a business leader, either reactively when go I ask on demand, or proactively, right? So think about this business leaders problem and some of these AIs out there. How do we bring this together? The power of AI in the data analytics space to solve this, the business leaders problem, and not 2 days later, not 2 weeks later. Now, how do we deliver that insights when they need and wherever they are? I'm in the car, in front of my leadership team in the board meeting, or I'm sitting, with a customer, or just getting before the customer's meeting. I want to know. Like most of the sales leaders go for a meeting, they wanted to talk about their new product and all that. And then one person in the meeting, oh, by the way, there were 4 shipments delayed. Do you know when it's going to show up? That'll put off the energy and passion. What if the sales leader, even though the sales leader has no clue about supply chain and all, what if the sales leader could ask somebody before going to the meeting that, okay, are there any overdue shipments? Are there everything on time? Be aware of what the situation is, even though it's not in your CRM, even though it's in a totally a different system, which is a responsibility of another department in your company. How cool it'll be, right? So that is kind of, we thought we need to build an AI to solve that kind of a problem, right? So with that in mind, we started this company called ConverSight.
And if I may, Ganesh, before we jump to that, this is kind of what brought us together. Was a company, a distributor that was really struggling with the supply chain and logistics issues that so many companies are struggling with, right? We've seen a very protracted ecosystem and supply chain where there are more and more delays, longer lead times, more and more stock outs, not having the right inventory mix at the right location. But for some of the small and medium-sized businesses that you and I interact with, and in this specific example, the one that brought us together, they didn't have the technology, they didn't know what data they had, they didn't have a robust ERP, they didn't have their own analytics system or big data available to them, didn't have AI, didn't have machine learning, but they knew they needed better, more real-time insights into their supply chain, into their inventory, to help them make better business decisions, so that they could obviously lower their working capital investments, increase their on-time delivery and customer service levels. And so they came to companies like Volenta and ConverSight. So with that, I'd love to turn over to you to kind of walk our viewers through this platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm going to talk about some of those customer personas. I think You know, a couple of weeks back, I had a group of manufacturing companies in Indiana, along with the university, and we were interacting with them about what they think about AI. And one common thing a lot of the CEOs leaders was mentioning was, oh, we wish we can do AI, but we don't have resources. We don't have that kind of technology people to do it. Or, oh, those AI systems, I don't think we can afford, right? So the mid-sized companies are really thinking about, I think this is probably an opportunity for us also to discuss about how we are able to help some of these small, mid-sized customers even make an AI system affordable and implementable even without technology skills, or even without having a robust operational systems like an ERP and other things. So we'll definitely talk about some of those use cases. Right? So the company ConverSight is conversational We built this company last couple of years, primarily with conversational AI. If you think about conversational AI, it's everybody can think about Alexa or a Siri, and as simple as that. But slowly, the conversational AI is going to bring the new way of interacting with computer systems. Like 20 years back, we used to interact with this computer system through mainframe screens. Then after that, some good look and feel, a desktop-based UI came in. Then after that, we moved to web-based. Anywhere we can go interact. Then last decade is all about the smartphones, that wherever we are, we can just click of a button, we can interact. Even in our 2-year-olds are watching videos now. Everybody can access it. But if you notice, we have come a long way, but still in the business. This morning, if I want to know um, a report, about what was my spend in the last 30 days, what is my revenue for, last 30 days we made, who are our top 10 customers, I am forced to go to different systems. And if I don't know those different systems, I'll have a struggle, right? Either one, I need to be educated on those systems. Second, somebody should have created those dashboards and reports there. If I don't have, what will I do? So what we are doing is, in that context, a business leader who has data in, say, 5 different systems may have reports, may not have reports, but can they just have a conversation? Like how you are asking Alexa to switch on the light, can you ask Athena, our AI, to get, hey, Athena, who are our top 10 customers in the month of February in this region? Ask that question. So that is what we meant by conversational AI. So we are leveraging conversational AI to generate insights and produce analytics. That's why we named Conversite. It's conversational insights. Through AI, obviously, Athena is our AI. Founded this company and working with a number of customers, more than 100 plus customers, multiple different sectors, a lot of manufacturing into retail and um, logistics, transportation, number of companies, patented the technology. What is very important for Athena to succeed is learning on the job. When we hire those data analyst or a data scientist or a business analyst, day one, you hire a supply chain business analyst or a sales consultant. They know something about Salesforce, about their business, but it will take a couple of weeks for you to accommodate. So the same way, when somebody hiring Athena, our customers are hiring Athena, not adding one more system, hiring Athena. Athena will have a knowledge on a domain, let's say supply chain, or also connected to various different systems. But Athena may not know the top 10 customers, the growing customers, shrinking products. But Athena can learn based on the data, based on the interaction, what we call that as adaptive learning. As humans, we are all adaptively learning. That's what makes us really smart. The same way this AI need to learn. So we have patented that adaptive learning, how we are on the job, how Athena is learning. Second great validation for us is something like somebody like Gartner reviewed our entire technology and put us as a cool vendor in the analytics and data science space last year. And number of awards that, as you could see from our customers, great reviews in G2 and all that. And most importantly for me, a customer last year, there was a customer in a retail, they were using Athena. The CFO moved to another company. Within a month, he called us that he's missing Athena. He was able to get, yearly revenue and all that, like very quickly. And now he's missing Athena. So that is the true validation that why these business leaders need a system like Athena, conversational AI. It's like create that experience. It's totally a different experience. How we are all now used to this mobile experience, we are all going to be used to this conversational experience. Once you use conversational experience, it's going to be difficult to go back and use all those large reports and spreadsheets, right? So that's kind of where we are building this. Why we need this? I'm sure we have audience where they have great reporting team, great reporting tools, and a lot of data, but do you really need it? We have done a lot of different surveys, spoke to various conferences, different surveys, spoke to analysts. I think majority is not happy with what they have, right? They need, because every day companies are adding new systems. And I may be very good with Salesforce, but then my company is moving to another CRM. Now I lost the grip on the data. I'm used to, in my prior role, I used to use Oracle ERP. Now I go to another company and they're using SAP, Oracle, now I lost grip of it, right? So you can never say that a company is fully satisfied on the reporting and insights. So we are, in a recent survey, what we did was like almost 80% of the business leaders somewhat making business decisions without that insights, guesswork, right? It's not that they don't have data, they have data, but because it's growing data sources, because the reports are available at one level, that they need to make a decision at a different level. Or they have reporting teams, finance reporting team is separate from supply chain reporting team, sales reporting team is different. We recently worked with a company where they were using one reporting tool like Looker on the sales and marketing side, and then another reporting tool on finance, the third one on supply chain. So different tools. Not everybody can be familiar with it. What if all these tools can have a conversational experience? All I have to just come and ask a question. I don't know how you process it, but just give me the answer, right? That's kind of the challenges, right? When we are going to number of different customers, like as large as huge, big automotives to smaller, $25 million, $30 million, $50 million e-commerce companies, distribution companies, we are seeing great opportunities in terms of providing visibility on their customer performance, sales, product performance, and all the way to giving instruction on what products are going to stock out and what will be your forecast in over. That's kind of what we are doing with this technology. In a nutshell, what Athena does. I'll go a little bit technical, but not too technical. I'll go to the demo in another 5 minutes. So what Athena does, let's take an example. This is a e-commerce company selling a lot of food products in Amazon, Shopify, all these. You won't believe $100 million company using 20 different systems. In the next slide, I'll show that. They do advertise in various different, like Google and all these, Facebooks. You need to monitor that. And then a lot of CRM work in Salesforce or HubSpot kind of stuff. And then they get orders, sales orders in Amazon, Shopify, maybe Walmart.com, right? All that. Then they have data about their fulfillment from their warehouses, third-party warehouses or internal warehouses. And then finally, they have logistics. Are we delivering on time? Is it costing too much? So these companies have a lot of data. So first job for Athena, the AI analyst, is integrate the data, either physically or logically, bring that integrated data. That is the first step in any program, any engagement, we see that. Second is, okay, now I got the data. I can't do much with the data, but I need to convert that insights. But can we automatically create those as insights? Okay, a particular product which is selling 200 quantities every week, suddenly you see 120 quantities. Can Athena identify those erosion, those change in that pattern and alert me? That is what we call automated insights. Okay, now I got the data and I got the insights, but can Athena give me some recommendations, like how much I should have? If Athena knows historically we have been selling 200 quantities of this product every week, now Athena should know, like in the next 6 months, I'm going to sell 200 quantities or 210 quantities with the growth in the next 6 months. And then based on the current stock and other things, can Athena tell me that how much I should have? Or if I don't have, when will I have a problem in future? That is what we call recommendation. So in a nutshell, our customers are hiring the smart employee Athena, giving access to their data on the on premise data or the cloud based systems data, give access to the data and get insights.
So
How are we
Ganesh,
getting that in? God.
on that, so suppose a small or medium-sized business is considering hiring Athena, looks like a very powerful solution with the ability to integrate and then provide automated insights and then ultimately artificial intelligence driven recommendations. But many small and medium business leaders may not know if they have big data or sufficient data of the type or value that Athena can unlock. So what guidance would you give those business owners?
Yeah, in my view, the volume of data may not be the criteria. Rather, if the business is a lot more dynamic, if an if there is a, I'll give you two examples. If there is a manufacturing company, they are just producing one product. Let's say they are producing a headlight for a car, just one headlight for thousands of cars. Every day they are going to come and make 100 headlights and ship it. 100 headlight, ship it. It's purely factory. There is no surprise, except there is a delay in purchasing and all those. But you can plan it because the demand is, you know, every time when the OEM going to make a car, you need two headlights. So your forecast is probably set, right? Even if the company is so big, the volume is so big, the data is huge, volume is not probably going to need an AI system. But on the other hand, think about even a $50 million e-commerce company selling 200 products in 3 different channels. So 200 products, 3 different channels to 5,000 users, consumers, that need insights. That is what you really what, like lot of that, volatility and velocity, that very, like every day you have a surprise in the business,
Yeah.
every week, then you need it.
Yeah, particularly as we talk about supply chains, for example, that are increasingly fragmented with so many different stakeholders, internal and external to the business, with a lot of volatility, very dynamic. Um, so as you add more SKUs, you add more products, you add more customers and suppliers, you're adding that complexity. So even though you may be a smaller company in terms of revenue,
Yeah.
you can still have that dynamic operating environment, very complex operations where Athena can plug in and start providing this type of help.
Absolutely. I think you brought the right point. It is also affordable, right? It is it is hiring an employee. Like it's
Yeah.
not like you need $1 million to deploy an AI system anymore. There are solutions out there where in our case, like for example, you can hire Athena, similar to hiring an employee. And so you can either go hire a data analyst or a business analyst who will work for 9 to 5 and dollars and benefits, or hire Athena who will work 24/7 for you for a fraction of cost, right?
Yeah.
So that is kind of how it is making it affordable and a lot more powerful as well, right? As a human, what we could do, achieve as what this mission could do is completely different, right? So I will now take a little bit into the dive into how, let's experience the platform. Since we are sharing the screen, I'm going to skip the mobile part. I'm going to go to the web browser and show some of these that how we can interact with Athena. For now, let's assume that we have connected to various different systems like a lot of the sales data, supply chain, e-commerce data, and maybe we have a forecast in an Excel from sales team. Let's assume that we brought all the data. Let's see how we can interact with Athena, right? Um, so what you see here is you can see my screen. Um, Athena has multiple flavor of this. The topmost is insights. Athena is kind of proactively coming and telling how much stock I have. Are there any, delinquent or delay in sales orders? All these, some of these details. The fun part is if I have a question I want to, understand, right? I want to know, say, like, I want to know revenue for, say, last month, right? I don't know where this data is coming from. Okay, it says 3.8 million. And this may be coming from my Salesforce or my ERP system. I don't need to really know that. And I just ask revenue for last month. And then say I want that by week. I can ask by week or by day, all these different details. Now I got all the details. And then say I want by customer, I'll just go ask that. So that $3.8 million now nicely on a chart here. Now, okay, that's a lot of data. I can't use all these. What if I just want my top 10? There we go. I just got my top 10 customers, right? So, okay, the same thing. Okay, how about by product? Let me see what products are we selling, right? So quickly here, we can get that by product, right? So every time when I'm, at the same time, I want to know my spend. Let's look at my spend. Or let me get my, let me get my inventory, right? So these are all different data as a business leader I may need. Now I can go check, oh, okay, I have $1 million worth of stock and in different various locations and in various products, right? Within that maybe a minute or two, I got my revenue, my, by customers who are my top 10 customers, my spend, my stock, all that information. And I can now compare and a lot of that stuff, I can do it. Then most importantly, if I can, this one, like let's inventory, I want to share this with somebody. I don't need to download it, put it in an Excel and send it. Ask Athena to share. Tell Athena which email you want to send and put a few message and send it, right? Or, okay, then question comes, okay, oh, it's easy. I can just come and ask a question. But do I need to come and ask the question every day morning? Can Athena realize that I need this information every day or every week, Monday? Can Athena do something for me? Yes. If you are asking this question every day, every week, there is a pattern. Athena can convert something into a dashboard, or you can put this in a dashboard as well. So there are a couple of different ways. So here, when I click on this dashboard, there are multiple dashboards. So I have my booked revenue, margin, revenue by month. If you see, all these are just questions. Like you just come and ask a question, and product and revenue by month. I work with a lot of people and they love Excel, but then they struggle to create, pivot table and all those. Like if let's put that question, product revenue by month, um, it's going to go bring a huge amount of data, and then let's see how we can quickly visualize the data in different way. So I got like 49,000 records in fraction of seconds. Now I got all the data. I have by month, by product. Now I can ask Athena, okay, click one button, all my product, my revenue is there. I don't need to wait for anybody. And this report is not there. Somebody created this report by month. Oh, I want by week. This was last year, November, I think during the Thanksgiving. I was asking one of the business leader, oh, how's your revenue coming? Ganesh, I know monthly how much revenue is coming, but I want to know last 7 days. I don't have that information. So now this is what I tell them, that you just click this, you ask Athena by day for last 15 days. So you are not okay, this is the report. Now I have that data by day.
Wow.
And this report is not there anywhere. This was generated.
Yeah. So very, very compelling and pretty powerful in how quickly Athena responds to ad hoc requests. Um, I I wonder though, as you speak about adaptive learning and you kind of describe how Athena learns and adapts to kind of the queries that the user might make every day, and that informs dashboards in the future.
Yeah.
How long does it typically take for a customer to start seeing these kind of meaningful insights from Athena's adaptive learning and analytics? Say from the time that you deploy or ConverSight deploys this solution to a customer's platform.
Yeah. See what happens. Maybe I'll walk you through the customer journey. So if somebody like Athena, they want to hire Athena, they make the call week one. That could happen on day one, or let's put 1 week. They need to identify where the data is.
Okay.
Whether it is in their ERP system or CRM systems. What we have hundreds of connectors, data connectors. So they can come and click a connector, okay, an inventory or a CRM. They click a connector and connect. So they are ideally giving access to Athena. That, let's say, week one, right? During that week one, what happens is Athena has access to the data, and then Athena start reading the data, and one, transform the data and store it. The second, Athena will start learning from that data. What we call, there is a knowledge behind this data. When I say knowledge, see here, when I asked a question about revenue, the data, no CRM system will show me this as a revenue. They will have a sales order table, and that sales order table, there is a field called order amount. So how Athena knows revenue is order amount? That is the knowledge. So traditionally, when we are working on any reporting system, we go create each report and we call it, okay, order amount. Instead of order amount, go type revenue. But here, the data and knowledge is segregated. That is how, as human, we are having our knowledge, and then however we are processing. So what we do is, in that 4 weeks, typical onboarding time for us is 4 to 6 weeks. If you have the data, 4 to 6 weeks. Or if you have your data in an Excel, maybe 2 hours. So you can just connect and ask a question. During that day one, week one, Athena, connect your data, create that knowledge. Assume that knowledge is 80%. The knowledge, for example, is customer names, product names. You may come and ask how much revenue we made for product XYZ for this customer, all that, right? So Athena need to understand all that. So from that knowledge, Athena will understand. Now, week one, connected the data, Athena started, put that knowledge. Now, week two, we will give access to 1 or 2 analysts, like the key users. They can come and ask a question to Athena. When I ask question to Athena, what Athena does actually, when I ask this question, if you see on the right side, it will change.
Yeah.
So because Athena is learning that, oh, somebody asked this question, they're going to ask this question. And if somebody asks this question, then Athena will think, oh, somebody is going to ask about inventory, or like, so you start asking question to Athena. Week two, Athena will get that user journey. Now, week three, you invite your business leader, a sales leader or a finance leader, a supply chain leader. They will, as soon as they come, Athena will say, hey, here are some questions you may want to ask, right? And Athena will also show them some questions, because 5 people are coming and asking how much inventory we have, how much inventory we have. Don't need to ask. You have $1.8 million inventory. There is no secret in it. Just, I'll give you this. And revenue is this. And, for last month, your revenue is $100 million. So Athena will give you that proactively. And then still you have a question. Don't worry what to ask. Athena will already have some set of questions based on the week 2 experience. It's not hard-coded questions. So that is week 3 is just bring business users, they ask question. Week 4 onwards, Athena's on the job, and you add more and more data. Every day the data get refreshed, and you just ask questions, more and more questions. And more question you ask, it can be converted to various different dashboards. And some dashboards you want to come and see, some dashboard you want to schedule it. Every day morning, I want this in my email, can be done, all that kind of stuff. So 4 to 6 weeks, your journey is done.
So as you talked about connecting Athena to the customer's data, some businesses who have not leveraged or hired Athena or leveraged a solution like ConverSite's solution, they may have concerns about data privacy and protection and security. What would you tell them?
See, we work with number of customers, as I mentioned, more than 100 people, customers, small, some are very large. We have a couple of options in terms of data storage itself. One, a small mid-sized customers where they don't have a data warehouse or a data lake or any of that stuff, no problem, plug and play. You come, subscribe, everything comes. Like in this slide, whatever you have seen, from data sync to data lake to data mart, everything comes in a box. But we create an instance for each of our customers. It is not co-mingled with others. And then we store regionally, obviously, North America data stored in North America type, right? So obviously we have that control. The data is not leaving my territory, number one. The data is not stored with others. Data is stored in my own organization. Each of our customers will have access to who has data access to that. Then within the company, if I have, 50 people are using this system, within those 50, who needs to see what data you can control. And same report, like the sales report I was showing, Not like all the sales team need to have the entire, they will have a dashboard, but when they log in, if they are responsible for a region, they will only see that data. So the data can be controlled and all that. Some of our customers have already invested on a data lake or a data warehouse. Our call is no problem. If you have already done the first part of bringing the data to a common layer, we can hook to that. So don't reinvent. We don't need to. That's not a throwaway. You have done put a lot of hard-earned money and effort there. Let's use that. We'll hook Athena to that, right? So we can work with based on the readiness and based on the data availability with the customers. And the rest all is transparent and visible. Architecturally, it's foolproof. And in terms of audits, we do a lot of different audits in terms of SOC and other things. We support from that standpoint. That's kind of how we work.
Well, thank you for that. We have just a couple minutes left, but we had a few questions come in.
Yeah.
And we have focused largely on supply chain and logistics type scenarios and personas. But I mean, who else? What other personas, what other leaders in an organization could truly benefit from Athena's insights besides supply chain leaders or manufacturing leaders?
Yeah, so as a company, initially we focused a lot on operational supply chain stuff, but we have also started, seeing sales and customers. So supply chain and operations, which mainly basically starts with purchasing. We have a lot of use cases from purchasing side, spend analysis, then the core production in manufacturing, and then all the warehousing, distribution, logistics, that use cases on higher visibility and all that kind of stuff. Sales forecast, we have done a lot of that stuff with AI. And sales teams, now, when we start working with supply chain or the operations team, those teams will, get a lot of questions from sales teams. Instead of they answering questions, they can give Athena to sales team. So we have seen sales teams taking advantage of Athena. They get, operational visibility as well as their sales performance. In fact, for few of our customers, we have given guidance that we say that, okay, a customer who's buying every 3 months, we can tell when they will buy again. And if they are not buying, alert them. So guidance on when they're going to buy. You may need to reach these 5 customers on that. We work with an insurance company, for example, that they have captured a lot of live and birthdays and all that. Hey, these are all 4 of your customers having, birthday this week, for example, or anniversary this week, or these are all the policies are coming up for renewal. Proactively go tell them and take an action from there, right? So sales guidance we have done. Some of our customers taken actually one step ahead, that their customers, especially in logistics, distribution, like where there is a use case to give it to their customers. For example, one of our customers, they are a packaging material distributor. Companies like FedEx and UPS are their customers. And FedEx, for example, they buy in 5 different or 20 different locations they buy. They wanted visibility. There was like 2 people would send some 70 different emails every week about, oh, this is how this month should be delivered to this places. That is automated now. They gave Athena to them now, like company like FedEx, use Athena to figure out how much they bought, how much they spent, all that. So customers are using it. Obviously, analytics without financing and leadership is not the game. Like a lot of cash flow projections, profitability, supplier performance, a lot of CEO reporting. One of the common use cases, the CEOs want their board is empowered with all these insights. So we've seen that use cases as well. So that's kind of from operational to sales to customers and to finance and leadership reporting. That's
so really across the organization. There's tremendous opportunity to leverage Athena's insights and unlock the value of the data. So the last question actually that came in, you pretty much answered and showed with the live demo, and it was, are the data and the insights that Athena presents, are they real time?
We have an option. We have an option to provide some real time, some are curated, especially if you are analyzing huge volume of data, historical performance. We would recommend not real time, more um, data in the night time, refresh it. That thing we do it. Like especially if you're asking, oh, how much stock we have for this item, or what's the status of this order, kind of those transactional questions, we can hit that real-time systems like be it an ERP or CRM through an API call. We do that. It's really depends. That also mean two things is very critical for us when we implement and we want to bring Athena. You have seen when I asked question, Athena was not blinking, like Athena's like giving answer instantly in a
Yeah,
conversational system, which is very, very critical. If I ask top 10 orders by revenue, Athena need to give immediately all these different questions. Now, for example, if I go, this question last 15 days, like immediate, like
yeah,
all these different questions, like just take, when I look at, we always look at it, how much time it took to answer, and it need be really, really speed. When it comes to real time, you may defeat the purpose, like you may let Athena rank. That's not going to give a good experience. So we purposefully tell no to some real time use cases if that operational system is not ready. Technical feasibility is one, but we want to make sure that users are able to use this, adapt this easily.
yeah.
Hardly 20% of the current reporting dashboards are used, only 20%.
Wow.
And we want this to be much, much higher. So performance is very key. Real time is possible, but not always is feasible. Yeah.
Well, that makes perfect sense. And again, thank you for joining us today, Ganesh, and walking us through Athena and showing us her functionality and how she can add value in a very short amount of time to companies across the spectrum, small, medium, large, in many different industries and across all the different business functions. Uh, Wish you success as you continue to rapidly grow your client base, and Valenta very much looks forward to continuing to partner with Conversite to deploy these kind of powerful solutions in the future.
Thank you. We are looking forward to partnering with you and empower all your business leaders, customers with insights, actionable insights. Let's make it conversational.
Sounds great. Thank you,
Thank you.
Ganesh.
Thanks a lot.